are going to be.
We're moving to our. Well, we call it linear.
Yeah,
but
I was going to say linear, but I don't know.
That's industry speak for we're going to be on the actual channel,
like
the
that's
live
what we're flowing
channel.
from one to the next.
Fox 32.
Yeah.
Very exciting stuff. When is that happening? Next week? The week after?
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
And I'm not even going to be here.
Which is
sad. You know? Sad.
Yes,
Darcy, she's starting preschool next week. I'm not going to miss that for the world. She is a comical child, and I don't know how this drop-off is going to go.
Oh, you're going to be just fine.
Not for
Caitlin,
me.
you have so
For
much anxiety.
her.
For her.
Well, yeah, me too, I guess. You're right. I do have anxiety about everything, and especially school
It's
stuff.
going to be just fine. Although transitions they don't tell you before you become a parent how difficult transitions are. Not just on a micro level, but on a macro level too. So like if they're going from summer camp schedule to the academic calendar, a transition, there's growing pains there. But like day to day, have you ever noticed how hard it is to get children from like one activity to the next, whether it's like getting into the car, those kinds of things. Were you prepared for that?
No,
Exactly.
no, you've got to prep ahead of time. But no, I'm late to literally everything. Like we tried to get Birdie to cheer practice 2 days ago. She was like 15 minutes late. I'm like, sorry. I think I'm at this point of parenting though, to your point. We are doing our best. And we're doing what we want to do as a family. So if we're late for something, sorry. If we miss something, sorry. But also not sorry because we're in survival.
Survival mode every day.
Yes.
Every day. Every day. All right, we got a nice jam-packed show on a Thursday as we creep up on Labor Day weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We were supposed to speak with a Morton Arboretum. I think we had a breaking news story we had to get to, but I believe it was last week we were supposed to talk to Morton Arboretum about buckthorn.
Oh, that's why we never got to that.
Buckthorn.
It's at your dad's house.
It was at my dad's house. Good memory.
But you helped take care of that?
I did not. I did a story on it though.
I heard.
Actually, search our website for this. It's called Phil Ponce's Secret Garden. And we tell the story of how my parents bought this plot of land. It was 80% covered in this invasive species called buckthorn, and they cleared the whole thing out to pave way for this kind of ambitious landscaping project. And it's a fascinating story because they actually wound up, when they bought the house, found these old landscaping plans that were done by this landscaping architect who's a legend around Chicago. He designed all the many of the Chicago parks and everything, and so they're like, we're going to put this plan and make it a reality. So that's what the story's about.
They found it in the house?
They found it in the house when they bought it.
No.
Because they had the previous owners kept all the books, the bookshelves, and it was in one of the books. It's a really cool story. It's like unearthing a treasure. I was going to pitch Delaney and Jenna to do a follow-up story because that was a year ago, and since then. They've done a lot of the work and the plants are growing in. Now, we are going to be speaking with Morton Arboretum because their property is not the only property that has been overrun by this invasive shrub. Sure. It's called buckthorn. It was imported, I believe, to the United States, centuries ago, but it's spread so easily because what happens is birds eat the little berries and then they poop out the berries, and this stuff just takes over all the native species. And so we're going to be speaking with Morton Arboretum about a new effort to get this stuff under control. Under control.
Yeah. Interesting.
So,
I want to hear more about your parents' house too.
It's really cool.
Were the previous owners like the original owners then?
Yes, they were.
What year was the house built?
It was built back in 1940, and you're like, well, wait, how could they be the original owners? Because the original owners, they were artists. One was a photographer, one was a dancer, and then they handed the property over to a trust. It was like a foundation. So as this artist's haven. And so the house has never had an owner between the original ones and my parents. And one of the reasons my parents wanted this place was to carry on, my mom's oil painter. They're building this studio on the property, an art studio. There are going to be classes on it.
What?
Yeah, it's cool.
I didn't know anything about this.
We'll do a follow-up story with Phil and Ann.
How cool is your family?
I actually kind of wanted to. You should forward Delaney the picture that you posted today.
What picture?
Check out. Was it social media? Yes, that Maggie took of you. This is my parents' old studio, and you guys went there. It was you and Brittany Payton.
this. Back in the day, me and Brittany, when she lived here, we did a podcast together. And it was so fun. It was called You Got This with Britt and Kate. And we would just talk about all sorts of random stuff. And then COVID happened, and
Brittany moved away.
Brittany moved, and
We're talking about
we had more
Brittany
babies
Payton, who is Chicago royalty.
Yeah, you guys know Brittany. So I was looking through my old pictures yesterday because I was of my kids, of course, as one does. And then I saw pictures of me and Brittany, and so I posted it and I tagged Anthony and I said, Maggie took these pictures.
They were lovely too. You guys look
so
fantastic.
talented.
And it
That
made
house
me
is
miss the
gorgeous.
space too, because they don't have that space anymore, but it was this cool old coach house that
And it had the L right behind it. It was
L,
just
the brown
so
line.
Chicago, and there was this cute little playhouse out front
Yes.
too. I remember
yes.
that.
It was a
walking
kids'
by.
playhouse that my dad had built for the grandkids, as
So
one does.
fascinating.
All right, so we have Michael Babcock from TMZ on
we
the
do?
line right now to run us through a couple of trending stories in the entertainment world. Michael, good morning to you. It's bright and early in LA, isn't it?
Mikey B.
Good morning.
Our
yeah,
bestie.
8 o'clock, 8 a.m. So
8
we're
a.m.
good.
Oof.
I'm
Oof.
getting there.
Yeah.
I got the
Wow.
coffee.
Caitlin got up
I've
at
got a coffee, too.
2:12 a.m. today.
Caitlin.
Yes.
Oh yeah, they posted
Well,
that on Instagram.
Michael, what time do you have to get up to be in at TMZ?
Well, so technically I'm supposed to get here at 6 a.m.
Okay.
I,
but
maybe push it a little bit, but yeah, so I get up around 5:15.
there you
do
go.
a good
Okay.
job, so
Right.
it's all right. It's fine.
Not sleeping in, but it's not 2:12.
You're doing
Right, not
research.
2:12. 2:12 is wild.
Yeah, that's.
Hey,
That's
last time we
illegal.
spoke, it was about Brooke Hogan. This is Hulk Hogan's
Yeah.
eldest daughter. We spoke at length about how she did not want to be included in the will. We were talking about a different angle to this story this morning. Get us updated on the news that Brooke Hogan kind of made public this week.
Yeah, a couple of things, and we're about to post another Hulk Hogan related story too, which I can tell you about if you're interested. But for Brooke Hogan, you're exactly right. She asked out of the will, and she has, since her dad died on July 24th, she has really been skeptical of the official explanation that, hey, Hulk just went into cardiac arrest and stopped breathing, and that there was no underlying reason for that. Well, she has backed off that a bit now because she actually had a chance to see her father's body, and she said that was really important for her. She was able to, first of all, see him and get some sort of closure. She said she was worried about how he might look. Of course, it's been a couple of weeks since he passed. She said he looked like he could literally walk into a wrestling ring at WrestleMania and wrestle. He looked so good. He looked like himself. He had the mustache, the bandana, all of that, was there, and he very much looked like a prime Hulk Hogan. She also said that she wanted to verify herself that he actually, in fact, did have an autopsy done. She was able to verify that happened, and she has talked with Sky, Hulk Hogan's wife, and they are in a much better place now. And I think they're on the same page. And Brooke does, again, bottom line, not feel like something happened here as far as foul play is concerned. Now, the story that we're just about to post here in a few minutes. Sky Hogan, I should say not Hulk's wife, but Hulk's widow, is planning to file a malpractice lawsuit, a medical malpractice lawsuit against the doctor who performed surgery on Hulk in May. Something was done to Hulk's neck, and the word is that there were some complications or there were some mistakes made during the operation, and that may have then had an impact on his final days. And because of that, she is, again, gearing up to file a lawsuit against this doctor.
Did you get a chance to ask Brooke about her opinion about that? Or is this just new breaking, or do you think maybe they're doing it together?
I think it's going to be Sky that files the suit, but I can definitely say for a fact that Brooke is aware that this is going on. And, while I didn't ask her myself if she's supportive of it, I think if you read the tea leaves, I think she is supportive of this. And I think again, they are actually on the same page now. And that seemed very unlikely a week or so, maybe even a day ago, that they would be on the same page. But I think Sky, the widow, and Brooke, the daughter, same page right now. We'll see if it stays that way.
What is your impression here in terms of how Brooke is doing right now?
Yeah, I think seeing her dad, and I think it helped. I think they had not spoken in years. They were, she loved her father, but they had issues in their relationship. And I think seeing him, she never had the opportunity to make things right with him before he died, sadly. But I think seeing him from the way she has explained it to us yesterday, I think it has had a profound impact on her, and I think that the healing probably speeds up now, and she can get to a place where she can move on and she can obviously live her life. She's a mom, she's got young kids, so I think it was really helpful for her to see him.
Did she say what she was looking for exactly, or what she was perhaps suspicious about, or like who she was suspicious of?
Yeah, she didn't. She referenced a while back, or maybe 2 weeks ago or so, she referenced something that was apparently told to her by a police officer. I think this might be what we talked about last time. I'm not exactly sure. But Brooke said that somebody who was on the scene made a comment to one of the police officers as they were rendering medical aid to Hulk, saying something about this nerve. It's called the phrenic nerve, and it plays some part in the diaphragm and in breathing. And that somebody on the scene said that something had happened to that nerve during that surgery in May, and had said this to one of the police officers. Now, one of the police officers had relayed that to Brooke, and she was really concerned about that. She felt like we weren't getting the full story there. And I think now that Sky says, we're going to file a lawsuit, and if this doctor made a mistake, we're going to hold him accountable. I think that's probably what Brooke wanted, and I think that's why she probably feels more content now with the situation than she has since he died on July 24th.
Well, that's good to hear. We'll continue to follow any developments. Switching gears a little bit before we let you go, Michael. Backstreet Boys, Las Vegas, The Sphere, this residency. There's some news that you guys are reporting about just how much they're making.
It's a lot of money, $4 million a night. Now, obviously, they've got to split it. It's not like it's a solo act, but $4 million a night. I mean, the reality is that they've already had over 20 shows. They've got, at least 15 or so more planned, and who knows if it gets even extended further. But they have been selling out the Sphere. It's got 17,000 seats. They've been selling that thing out every weekend, and not a lot of costs. Normally you tour, you need to pay for hotels and all the things that come with going on a worldwide tour. Well, they're just in Vegas, so they show up to the Sphere every day and they go home, show up to the Sphere. There aren't a whole bunch of overhead costs, and they are just essentially, stuffing money in their pockets. And I don't blame them as for why they want to continue this thing. And as long as the fans show up and want to buy tickets, and there's no indication that that's slowing down, I think they keep doing this. And again, it's like printing money, $4 million a night.
Who would stop that? I'd be like, I'm feeling good, let's do it again.
Right?
I feel like NSYNC is coming up next.
I'd be on that stage all the time.
Right?
I'm still with you.
I'll just, next 30 days, I'm good. Don't need a break.
You know where to find me, right?
Right. Wow.
So what is driving this, do you think, Michael? Is it just the nostalgia for the band, or is it the venue? Or is it the combo?
I think, you know what? I think, look, you go to Vegas and there's only so much gambling you can do. So we know Vegas shows do well. They're not the first celebrity act to do well there. So I think it makes sense that it's in Vegas. People are really curious about the Sphere. I've never been personally, but everyone that I've heard go there and experience it says they love it. So I think that too. And yeah, the nostalgia, I think that's probably first and foremost, that you miss those days, and if you're with your friends in Vegas, and let's go see the Backstreet Boys, and it kind of brings you back maybe to being a kid or a teenager or whatever it might be. So I think that's why. I do wonder if NSYNC sees this, and do they say, hey, why don't we do something similar? And do you have other acts that do that? I guess we'll find out.
Oh, 100%. I'm just so curious. Was that thing floating, that stage?
It looks like it is.
I didn't see. I missed it.
Oh, man, that's cool.
I know the Sphere is some of the people here have been to it, and they're like, this thing is incredible. It's so immersive. The sound's amazing. It sounds like the best place to see a show.
I cannot wait. I've had friends go too.
Really?
Exactly, like Michael said, they raved about it. And in fact, I think Jake Hamilton may have actually seen the Backstreet Boys at the Sphere.
Wow.
He saw some band very recently. I think
Where's
he saw,
Jake?
but people rave about it. I know U2 performed there, Fish performed there. I can't wait to get there myself. What's your prediction for the Sphere here? Do you think the Backstreet Boys' success will have us seeing even more artists from that era?
Yes.
I do. I think if there are 90s and 2000s bands that want to perform and they're down to do it, I think you will absolutely see people buy tickets and bands make a lot of money. 100%.
How much are the tickets to go to the Sphere for this? Do you know?
They range. You know what? They're making a lot of money on these expensive VIP packages that they sell for thousands and thousands of dollars. So there are general admission tickets that you can get relatively affordable, maybe $100 or so.
Oh.
But there are really expensive tickets that, those I think are where they're making a lot of the money.
Oh, where they get to actually like meet the Backstreet
Meet
Boys.
them, do the meet and greet, take a picture, you maybe get an autograph. Yeah. They've got a lot of
That
packages.
is wild. $4 million a night.
A night.
All right,
did you
before we
stop?
let you go, one more question. How big is the buzz on that end with regard to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce? We're about to put it in perspective. Back here in Chicago, we're about to speak with a bakery who's like designing sourdough bread in honor of this
no way.
engagement. Yeah, like how big of a deal is
They
it out in
sent
LA?
me a loaf of that bread. I've never seen anything like. There were literally people in here crying.
What?
It's
Stop.
happened for. I don't get it, but
Wait, literal tears?
I'm not kidding. Yes.
No.
The two of the women here were crying. They came out crying. It's happened for her, and they're jumping around. The tears.
That does not surprise me.
it's-
We had a live-in au pair from Argentina living with us for a couple of years. I got young kids, Michael. She was such a super fan. I mean, the music would make her
Really?
cry. She saw her at Soldier Field a couple of times. But when you say
Wow.
people were crying, that's not an exaggeration. Like
Right.
you're not just you're not just speaking
No
hyperbole.
exaggeration at all. It's crazy. I mean, she's like. I mean, she's the Beatles. I know that
Right.
seems blasphemous to say, but I mean, or Michael Jackson. I don't know. I've never seen anything like it in my lifetime that I can remember. Not Britney Spears, not NSYNC, the Backstreet Boys, none of them.
America's sweetheart. I cannot even comprehend that.
No, I can't either.
That's
I think
so
I just like missed.
funny.
I mean,
I
there's
love
never
her,
been like
but
No, I guess this is our version. This is our royal wedding here, right?
Yeah,
now.
yeah, exactly. Well, I can't wait to see how you guys cover all the things from the bachelor parties to the rehearsal
Yes.
dinners to
Yeah.
the dress fitting. I know you guys are
Right.
going to be all
Who gets an
over
invite?
it.
we got to know
I
if
do.
Blake's invited.
Oh, yeah.
We talked
Oh,
about
of
that,
course.
remember? Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of doubt it.
Michael, always good to see you, sir.
Thanks so much for having me. It's great
Have
to
a
see
great
you.
Yeah, have a
day.
great
Enjoy
one.
that coffee.
Oh, for sure. You got your big cup of coffee. I think.
Oh.
Oh, is it on camera? There it is.
We should have
It made the
asked him what
shot.
his order
It made the
was.
shot.
I accidentally got a medium and I meant to order a small,
It's
but
okay.
I feel like my brain is mush right
She's got to
now.
do the noon show, so I think that's going to be fine.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, speaking of super fans, Disney adults. This is a thing, everybody. Disney adults. And there's
Don't
a
we
new
know
book
it?
out
Yeah.
called Inside the World of Disney Adults. I didn't know this was a thing. I have actually
What do you mean?
I've on purpose avoided. I was never a Disney kid. I was always Looney Tunes kid. And I don't know if that's an either or.
No.
However, have you ever been to Disney World?
When I was 7,
Did you love
changed
it?
my life.
Change your life,
I
but
still
you're not a
remember it
Disney
to this
adult.
day.
I mean, I like the Disney movies. I do. I'm not saying
Yeah.
they're.
This is like an experience.
This is-
Can I ask you something?
It's no, it's not an experience, Caitlin. It's a lifestyle.
Sounds like you did some deep diving.
I
into
did.
this. Is California or Disney the split? So Disneyland is California.
California.
but
Disney
so-
World is Florida.
And that's the one. It's not.
I think this is Disney culture. So like Disney
Disney,
adults,
Disney.
they're
They're both.
global.
They're both.
They're global.
Oh.
I mean, this is an obsession. It's a lifestyle. It's almost a hobby. It's a way of life. People spend thousands of dollars on certain items. They know everything back and forth about the latest merch that's coming out. They wait in lines. I
Okay.
mean, it is wild. So there's an author named AJ Wolf. I actually,
Is he
you know how
a
you can
Disney
read the little
adult?
sample. He's a Disney adult. It's almost like he's a recovering Disney
he
adult.
here? Is he
He's
listening
going to be
to us?
joining us via Zoom in just a moment. But I do
Okay.
need to say,
Yeah.
you know how when someone writes a book, you can read the sample. Like
Yeah.
online, like,
Yes.
hey, Amazon, I might order this book, but I want
Did
the
you
sample.
order the book after reading the sample?
Yes, and so I read the I kept going. I was like, oh, this is absolutely fascinating. So the author is I don't want to say recovered, but she's an out of the closet
I can't wait.
Disney
Yes.
adult, and we're going to be speaking to AJ Wolf when we come back. Trust me, this stuff is absolutely fascinating. It's a subculture you may not know. Well, I certainly didn't. I didn't know this existed.
People
That's
get
when we-
married there.
Oh,
They go there without kids.
exactly.
I have
You-
people on my Facebook that are Disney adults.
You know this whole
I do
thing.
know
I was
about
like,
this. And
All
okay, yeah.
we're going to speak with her. AJ Wolf, when we come back, everybody, stay with us.
All right, it's just about 10:22, and we are diving into the world of Disney adults. So, Swiftie, gamer, backpacker, foodie, labels paint a picture, but few spark stronger reactions than Disney adults. Are they just super fans of a kid's brand or a thriving community finding connection, nostalgia, and belonging? We're going to find out. Disney expert and author AJ Wolf joins us to discuss why Disney has appealed to grown-ups since the very beginning. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us. You have to explain to us what a Disney adult is. Like, how does this happen amongst adults without even kids involved?
Right, exactly. So a Disney adult, for my particular purposes in the book, I define as someone who intentionally decides to bring Disney into their life, right? To make sure that they choose Disney for their vacations or their movies or whatever they're going to do. So that's a Disney adult, and there's a lot of us. There's a shocking amount of people who go to Disney without kids or like it more than their kids.
How deep does the obsession go for some of these folks in terms of time commitment and financial commitment? Paint a picture for us.
Yeah, it can go very, very deep. Now, this is a very broad subculture. There's a lot of different levels in the hierarchy. I would say that there are some folks that are spending an exorbitant amount of money, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars a year, if not more. There are people who buy $1 million homes near Disney World just to be close to the parks. But then there are those of us who go, once a year, maybe once every couple of years. We keep in touch. We know what's going on in the parks and in the movies, but it's not an obsession in that way. So it's a variety. Okay,
so I have to play devil's advocate here.
Okay.
So Disney World, you think of Mickey Mouse and the Disney princesses, and it feels like a child's atmosphere. So how does this appeal to adults? Like we just showed the Toy Story. Like I just feel
Buzz Lightyear.
It's kind of kiddie stuff. How does Disney appeal to adults in that way?
That's a great question. That's one of the biggest criticisms of Disney adults is why would you like something that's for kids? That's super weird. The bottom line, though, is that Disney, all the way back to Walt Disney, who actually said, if you aim just for kids, you're dead, is always marketing to adults. They actually just opened an adults-only lounge in one of the theme parks that only adults can get into over 21. They have several over 21 restaurants and entertainment locations. And you've also got a bunch of rides. You've got a bunch of thrill rides that kids can't even ride because they're too short. So there's always marketing towards adults, especially in merchandise as well. So it's all there. You just kind of have to look for it. And they are constantly building in more for adults only into these parks. They're seeing that that's where the money's coming from.
Oh.
You have penned an entire book about the world of Disney adults. Tell us what the takeaways are. Is this for other Disney adults? I was telling Caitlin during the break that, I read as much of the sample that they post online of your book as I could. It started on page 2, where you kind of outline how you are a Disney adult. But what is going to be the takeaway, and who's your target audience here, AJ?
Such a good question. I've been doing this for 16 years. I run a blog called Disney Food Blog, all about food in the parks and on the cruise ships. But this particular book is for both Disney adults who love Disney and are passionate about this particular, multimedia conglomerate. And it's also for people who are looking at Disney adults and going, why are you like this? What is going on? So it actually hits both audiences really well, I think. So I think everybody's gonna love it.
Okay, so coming from a parent, I have been considering taking the kiddos to Disney. I've got 3, my youngest is 1. I went to a smaller theme park, Dollywood, over the summer, and it was fairly horrendous to bring 3 kids to an amusement park because, to your point, a lot of the rides aren't built for little kids. As someone who is an expert in Disney, what can you say to families? When do you think is the right time to go? Obviously, adults, good to go. There's so many different things to do, but what do you think?
So Right. So going for families, you want to hit those times when kids are in school. I know you might have to take your kids out of school, but that's when you're going to have the fewest crowds. That's when you're going to have the lowest costs.
Okay.
So kind of early September, right about now, is a great time to go because everybody just went back to school and nobody's in the parks and everything is cheap. So that's the best time to go. I would also say kind of early, like late January, early February. Also a good time to go, especially if you're headed to Orlando, where it's unbelievably hot in the summer and it's just
Yes.
garbage.
Yes.
Then go when it's cool outside for sure.
AJ, what do you think it is about Disney? You called it a multimedia conglomerate. What is it about Disney, its characters, its movies, that has led to there being just such a strong subculture completely revolved around this brand?
Yeah, so it's about 3/4 nostalgia and 1/4 manipulation, I think. So that's sort of how I phrase it. Everybody who loves Disney can track it back, usually to a family member, or I went to the park with my grandma, or I watched this movie with my brother all the time, or whatever. And so the nostalgia there, that piece of like, I'm going to get this piece of my childhood back where I felt safe and comfortable when everything else is going on in the world. This grounds me. So there's that, but there's also Disney is unbelievably good at psychological manipulation when you get in those parks. They are hitting all of your senses. They're absolutely stimulating everything so that those memories stick in your brain as some of the best of your life and you want to go back.
So I have to ask, the food is like a whole other side of Disney that people dive deep into and are passionate about. What are some of your favorite go-to spots for food?
Oh my gosh. Can I just be on the rest of your show, please?
Yeah.
I would
Right?
love to just...
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I would say some of the best places to go for food, especially if you're in Disney World, if you're on the East Coast, Disney Springs, which is their shopping and dining district, which actually you don't need a ticket to visit. It's free to go there, has the best restaurants in the entire 41 square miles of Disney World. So that is what I would recommend. If you're looking for good food, head there first.
Disney World is 41 square miles.
It is
That
the
is
size of 2 Manhattan Islands.
insane. Okay.
Yeah.
AJ, what was the character or movie or situation? Caitlin asked you about your own food preferences, but I'm more curious about what hooked you in. What initially hooked you in when you were a girl?
So for me, it was, and if you read some of that book, for me it was 1982 Epcot. Epcot Center was the second park in Disney World. My family went there on a spring break vacation, and my dad and I just really bonded over the music, the background music there. We loved it, and we bought the LP and we listened to it all the time. So that was kind of it, my dad and me. And I lost my dad a few years ago, and so that connection is the nostalgic connection for me.
Makes sense.
So I have
Makes
to know.
sense. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Also, sorry for your loss.
Oh, thank you. It's okay. He would love what I'm doing.
Yes, so proud. So there's Disney planners for vacations because it is such a intricate trip. Have you ever considered this, like to take that on as a side gig to like help families or help adults, help people plan their Disney trip, their Disney vacay?
No, that sounds exhausting.
Oh.
I love doing what I do, which is YouTube videos and social media and blog posts all about how to help people for free. You can just go ahead and read them and consume all that stuff, and we're going to make sure that you don't make the same mistakes that we make when we're in the parks every day.
For any skeptics watching, what is a misconception, perhaps, a misconception about Disney adults that maybe your book sheds a little bit of light on?
Well, the wild thing is that stereotypes are there for a reason, right? So whatever you've seen in the viral TikToks and the viral Reddit threads, that actually is true and probably happened. And so the thing to understand is that even though Disney adults like something that is perceived as for kids, the subculture really isn't that different from NFL fans or Taylor Swift fans or whatever fandom or hobby you belong to. It's just that, we decide to spend our money and our time on this other particular thing. We're not that weird or that different. sure there are some of us that are, but most of us are just like you.
All right.
Yeah. Well, how about pricing? Okay, because this was the other part of my problem was I was trying to price out, like a 4-day trip to Disney, and you have to take out a second mortgage to do that. Like, what are the secrets? How can people afford this stuff?
Absolutely. It is bonkers at this point. But the bottom line is people are still paying it, right? So supply and demand is still happening, and Disney can keep raising those prices. So what I would say, though, is there are absolutely ways to do it cheaper. Disney always has hotel discounts. Disney always has ticket discounts going on. There's a special little page on their website that says special offers. So go there first. Don't ever pay rack rate for anything.
Okay. Okay. Our marching orders, we've got them. Theo might go with said au pair.
No way.
Yes. My son, because our former au pair who lived with us for a couple of years, she was obsessed with Disney. Her family goes multiple times a year. She is full out Disney adult at this time. And I don't want anywhere near. This is not my scene at all, so I might get lucky.
I want to do it,
Well,
but
I'll
I
tell
think
you
I gotta
what,
wait.
she can go with your kids. You guys come with me, and we're gonna have a great time.
We'll go to
Outside.
the 21 and older.
They've got some fun beverages.
There you go.
And
Don't worry,
AJ
I got you.
One more time, where can folks find the book? Where can folks follow along with you?
Sure, follow along at DisneyFoodBlog.com. The book is everywhere books are sold, so Amazon, Barnes & Noble, everywhere. So
I love
go
the
pick it up.
cover.
It's beautiful.
I love
No,
the
it's
font.
so pretty.
Yeah, you did a fantastic job there. AJ Wolf, everybody, thank you so much for
Have a great
introducing us
day.
to this subculture. Appreciate it.
You want to know something funny? Is that I hope I never forget. Whenever we watch a Disney movie at my house and it goes Disney, and it has the Disney
With the stars.
My
yeah.
kids, for whatever reason, Birdie started this years ago, and now Darcy says it too. They say, "Mom, it's your name." I have no idea, but every time we watch a Disney movie, they say, "Look, it's your name."
It's your name? They think that's your name?
Yeah.
That's cute.
I don't know why.
Your
but I
name
love
is a
it.
beautiful logo. They're
Right.
just like, oh, that's
Oh, look,
mom's
it's your
magic.
name.
The magical kingdom, the magical mom.
So cool.
That's great. Well, okay.
Yeah.
She talked about subcultures. I feel like I'm gradually being welcomed into the subculture of like gardening, landscaping.
I love it too.
It's so real. Don't you find it gratifying when you have time?
Yeah.
It's hard to carve out time for it.
Fresh air.
But this is like, becoming my wheelhouse and kind of a mental escape for me.
On your Sundays.
So I am all up on the buckthorn thing. I don't know anything about Disney adults, but we are going to be invasive
buckthorn.
shrubs. That's my wheelhouse, guys. We're going to be speaking with Lindsay Darling from Morton Arboretum. This is a long overdue conversation that we're going to have about how 80% of our forests here in Chicagoland are now dominated by this invasive shrub called buckthorn. There's also one called honeysuckle, and the fight to fight this thing off. So she will be joining us when we come back. Lindsay Darling with Morton Arboretum. Stick around for that. We'll be right back.
1037, invasive shrubs. So across the Chicago region, nearly 80% of our forests are now dominated by invasive shrubs like buckthorn and honeysuckle. So we are so lucky to be joined by the Morton Arboretum, Lindsay Darling. Lindsay, is your real last name Darling? I gotta know. Are you there, Lindsay?
Yeah, I'm there.
There you are. Is your last name Darling, really?
Yeah, I tried to get my husband to take it when we got married, and he declined.
Oh, that's a missed opportunity.
I love that
Exactly.
name. That is so awesome. Okay, so do you want to take this away, because I know this is your passion.
Oh
This is
yeah,
your passion.
Lindsay,
Get
my
into it.
folks bought a place in Northbrook. It's an acre and a half plot of land. When they bought it, I would say 80% of it was covered in buckthorn, and they had to bring in heavy machinery. They were out there for a couple weeks, clearing it out and then treating the stumps so that it didn't come back. But for those who are unfamiliar, what buckthorn is, run us through the cliff notes here.
Sure. So buckthorn is a species that comes from Eurasia. It is used commonly as a hedge. So people would plant it between their property and somebody else, and it does a really great job at that because it's so dense and thick that even when it loses its leaves, it will still block that property line. Buckthorn and other shrubby invaders like bush honeysuckle make berries, and birds will eat those berries and then move them to other places and drop them. So they can really move into our forest and be very problematic. And them being those really dense shrubs that we like for hedges is really detrimental to forested areas because they are so dense that no light can get down to the forest floor, so nothing else grows underneath them.
My goodness gracious. So what is the solution? I see on that map there you guys are kind of tracking where they're located. How are you guys taking care of this problem?
It's a lot of work, like you guys alluded to. So a lot of forest preserve districts and other publicly owned properties put a lot of their efforts into managing it. They really do depend on volunteers to work on it as well. So it's, like you said, it takes a long time. Cutting them down will, stop it, but then you have to put herbicide on it to keep them from coming back.
Is this an uphill battle or is there hope?
It's a hard battle, and we've actually seen buckthorn get worse over the years. So it's something that I believe we're starting to acknowledge as a problem, and that's definitely a first step. But we do need to have all hands on deck to work on it and to be working not just in our public areas, but like you said, on your home properties as well, because those seeds really can move around. So I don't like to believe in, lost causes, but it is definitely a hard effort.
Okay, it's kind of each take it into their own hands when it's on your property. What about honeysuckle? So we hear honeysuckle is also an issue?
Yeah, they're pretty much, characteristics are very similar. They're another species that was used as a hedge, and they have berries the same way. Honeysuckle is more common in the southern part of the Chicago region, in Will and in Kendall counties, but buckthorn is more problematic toward the northern side. There are a few other shrubby invaders that you might see as well. One of them is barberry or burning bush. So a lot of these things that do the same thing in our lawns do the same thing in our forested areas.
Is Chicago alone?
No. It's pretty bad here, but Indianapolis has tons of honeysuckle. There's a lot of that in southern Michigan as well. The Twin Cities has lots and lots of buckthorn. On the East Coast, it's some other species, but it's out there as well. So we're in good company.
Oh.
Is there a good spot that people can go just to see what it looks like? Is it just a simple Google search, buckthorn or
Well,
honeysuckle?
that map that you alluded to, you mean in terms of pictures?
Yeah.
So the Morton Arboretum has tons of resources for that.
Oh, okay.
And they have, tools for identifying it and then how you can actually treat it as well.
Can you run us through the message there? If I am a homeowner and I notice, oh gosh, yeah, I haven't been back to that corner of my yard, but it's getting thick back there, what do they need to look out for? And what should they do if they find a buckthorn shrub?
So if it's little, you can oftentimes just pull it out of the ground and you're done. If they're bigger, then that becomes pretty challenging. And at that point, you would want to cut it down and put some herbicide around the stem. Again, there's a lot of really good resources on the website on how to exactly do this. You don't want to be applying herbicide if you're not sure what you're doing. If you have a huge infestation and you can't get to it right away, buckthorn actually has male and female trees. So if you just take care of the female ones, that will keep them from making new berries and getting worse.
How do you tell the difference between a male and a female?
The flowers look a little bit different, and you can use the Arboretum's resources to see what those flowers look like. But if it's making berries, then it's a female tree.
Oh, this might be a silly question, but I'm curious. Are there still gardening stores or places that are selling plants that sell buckthorn or honeysuckle, or is it just in nature?
No, it is considered a noxious weed in Illinois, and it is illegal to sell or even illegal to give away.
Oh, illegal to give away.
Here's a question. My friend who lives in Arlington Heights lives on a public right-of-way that's along a creek. Now, he doesn't own this land. It's behind his backyard, but he's interested in clearing out. It's covered in buckthorn. Can they do that? Can he clear it out legally, or is there a process? Because, I mean, he wants it. That's for the public good, is it not?
You'd have to reach out to whoever owns the land. I don't think you can manage land that's not your own without permission. As
Interesting.
much as I would love them to.
Yeah, exactly.
With these invasive species, sometimes I think it's kind of hard to tell because even just looking at these pictures that you showed, they look beautiful.
Pretty.
Is this the honeysuckle that we're looking at now? Yeah.
That's honeysuckle.
So it looks almost like a purposeful bush that just has these beautiful flowers, but the problem is, like you said, they're just too dense. Is there any other issue with them?
I mean, that's why they were brought here, is because they are beautiful. Those flowers smell fantastic. The berries can be quite pretty, but it's just when they're able to, keep reproducing without control that it becomes really a problem.
Is there a success story that you can point to about either a nature preserve, a park, or just a location here in Chicagoland where the folks there have done a good job at turning this thing around, managing it?
Yeah, so if you look at the map that we created as part of the study, you really can look at places where buckthorn doesn't exist. So the Morton Arboretum has tons of volunteers, and they've done a lot of work to remove buckthorn from their property, and it's looking pretty great. The Botanic Garden has done a really great job as well. One of the properties that I've worked on a lot and have seen big changes over the years is LeBaugh Woods. So it's part of Cook County Forest Reserve District, and they have a lot of volunteers that go out in the winter and cut down buckthorn. They've been replanting some new shrubs in there that had been removed with the buckthorn. Or not, the buckthorn had outcompeted, so they weren't there anymore. And it's really become a beautiful place.
So with that question, it reminds me of a different question. Do you know in the history books of invasive species of plants, has there been a situation like this where we've fixed it? Maybe something's taken over and we've just all, come together and work to get rid of this invasive species altogether?
With plants, no, I don't think so. It's an
Okay.
ongoing thing.
Oh.
But I mean, it's just kind of part of ecology that humans have always managed the landscape for better or for worse, and this is just something that we need to deal with now.
What would it take to get this under control? Are we talking about mobilizing hundreds, if not thousands, of volunteers in Chicagoland to actually get a handle on it?
Yeah, I think that's about what it would take. It's a lot of people and a lot of effort. But I mean, really, I've done a lot of this volunteering, and it's really fun. It happens usually in the winter time, so it's nice that it gets you outside when you might not usually go outside. But you'll be out cutting down these shrubs with a lot of people who are generally very pleasant to be around, get some exercise in, and at the end, you oftentimes have a bonfire with those trees that you cut down, and it's a lot of fun. So I really recommend people get out there and do what they can.
As far as being worried about this issue, are there really just like hot spots that need to be taken care of where maybe it's like a natural area or a specific forest around that has an issue that we want to keep under control? Because if it's just your backyard, I mean, it might kill a few plants, but I feel like you guys probably have your eyes on certain locations in Chicagoland that are worrisome.
Yeah, a lot of forest reserve districts will have properties that they're especially interested in working in. So they aren't even managing it on all their land, but they're doing a lot of it. So it's usually forests that maybe still have a nice mature canopy of species like oaks that we're interested in, or places that have some more conservative plant species on the ground that get prioritized. But I really do want to emphasize that it needs to be a landscape scale approach. We can't just be working on our natural areas, because if it's still in people's yards, birds can still eat those berries and move them back to places that we've worked.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It'd be like
true.
1 step forward, 2 steps back. All right, Lindsay, before we let you go, where can folks find more information, including that information on how to delineate between the male and female plant?
So yeah, the Morton Arboretum website is great for that. The Arboretum also has a plant clinic, so it's a free service that we offer that you can email or call them, and they can offer advice on a wide variety of landscaping and tree issues. Or if you're at the Arboretum, you can stop in and chat with them.
All right, Lindsay Darling. Love your
Thank
name.
you.
Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
We got our work cut out for us on this one.
Those dang buckwheat.
I've buckthorn.
Buckthorns.
Buckwheat.
The buckwheat. Should I have
I
more
pulled.
coffee?
You should do you should scour your yard and see if there's any.
I don't think
I
it's
found
anything.
about 5 plants on mine
Mine's
behind the
just- I
garage.
just have grass back there.
It's just grass.
Just
okay,
grass.
You're in the clear.
Yeah, but
You're
the
in the clear.
honeysuckle is more south, she said.
Pretty.
So maybe
Honeysuckle's
the
way,
honeysuckle-
based on the picture, honeysuckle's way prettier than buckthorn. To me, buckthorn just looks like a generic green. I mean, it's not unattractive. It's just like circular green leaves, and they grow
Do they
about
have thorns?
10, 15. No, I don't think they have thorns.
Why are they called buckthorn?
Don't know.
They should
Great
be called,
question.
Not buckwheat, buckthorn.
Buckthorn.
We should ask that question.
Yep, we got to move on though, Caitlin. When
All
we
right.
come back, Taylor and Travis mania has officially hit Chicago. It's hit the whole globe, essentially.
Yeah.
But we're going to be speaking with our friends up in Evanston at Benison's Bakery. They've crafted sourdough creations. I believe it's sourdough. I might need
Maybe
clarification on
okay.
that.
Yeah.
But they have a new creation up there at Benison's Bakery in honor of this epic engagement. So we're going to be speaking with Phoebe Casey from Benison's when we come back.
Phoebe, that's another cute name.
It is.
Phoebe.
Very cute.
Sourdough is a magical loaf of bread that's been made around the world for centuries, years and years and years. And it's just a magical form of baking. Sourdough, we inoculate the dough with sourdough yeast, wild yeast that's in the air. It's captivated into a starter, and that's what leavens the dough. It's a bacterial transformation of the starch in the wheat flour to a simple sugar. It allows the yeast to digest it and give off carbon dioxide to leaven the bread. At the same time, it creates a lot of acidity. Acetic acid, lactic acid, that's where the sour flavor comes from. A great starter is one that works. You know, if you have it figured out, you should keep doing what you're doing. Our starter is 24 years old. Philemon here behind me that's shaping bread with it right now He's the one that takes care of our starter. And if we had started with raisins or potato peels or banana peels, don't think that after 24 years it tastes like raisins, potatoes, or bananas. I mean, it becomes nature to your environment. So I can give bakeries a piece of my starter. They take it to their bakery. And in a short time, after a few feedings, it becomes
Oh no!
Man,
I was just getting into that. I was just learning about.
You feed the yeast or the starter.
And then you can have a starter of your own. They got 24-year-old starter. Do we want to try to re-rack that, guys? Or
We'll try in the background, maybe. Maybe.
okay, we're gonna tap dance here for
My
a second.
neighbor makes sourdough bread.
Sourdough
She
bread is
made
good.
me a giant loaf the other day.
I enjoy sour. Actually, I follow all the fitness and wellness. A lot of the like the fitness influencers and the folks in the bodybuilding community, that kind of thing. They talk about carbs get a bad rap.
Yeah.
But they talk about how they gravitate towards sourdough. I guess it's easier to digest.
Interesting.
Maybe because of. That's why I'm on pins and needles to hear the rest of this
I know.
piece,
I want
just
to know
because of the acidity.
what goes into sourdough. So you have the starter, and then do you add flour? I'm just curious. Yeah. So my neighbor, she makes it. Back during COVID days, that was one of the hot things to do is make sourdough. But it is, you guys.
It's good.
Toasted
It's totally
sliced
different.
Sourdough with some butter.
Yes.
Or even
it
something
is.
sweet.
It's
like
almost
a Nutella.
tangy.
Yeah.
Right? It's almost tangy.
It's delicious.
Have you ever had a sourdough pancake?
No.
They're good too. It's a different experience. You mentioned buckwheat. Buckwheat.
Yes, I did.
Buckwheat
I
pancakes
did.
a different experience. Sourdough pancakes a different experience.
Yeah, sourdough.
Okay, so we're gonna give this one more try, and hopefully
Let's
the
go.
tape keeps it rolling. Here you go.
to your environment. So I can give bakeries a piece of my starter. They take it to their bakery. And in a short time, after a few feedings, it becomes natural to them. Right? It relies on the environment that it's in. The fact that a starter is so many years old, has no meaning to me other than the romance. A starter that's a couple years old is going to work the same way as a starter that's been going for many years. Today we baked we're calling it TK sourdough. I don't know what the TK stands for, but it is lemon blueberry sourdough. So we made a wheat sourdough with lemon zest and dried blueberries in it. This September is National Sourdough Month. So we're doing a sourdough flight for people to buy. You get 6 little loaves in a flight of our most popular 6 flavors. So this is just our plain white sourdough. That's what he's rounding up now. This is our lemon blueberry TK sourdough right here. We made it for the event of the day, I guess. It's a wheat sourdough with dried blueberries and lemon zest. And this is our Kalamata olive sourdough with, we use Spanish green olives, black Kalamata olives, and fresh rosemary and thyme. The crumb is very nice. I'm sure Taylor Swift's starter is very high in yeast and very low in acidity based. I'm sure she's too busy to, she could probably afford to have somebody feed it for her while she's gone. And I don't think she would have much care about how much she's throwing away. So maybe her starter's in good shape. We've been making Taylor Swift cookies since the Eras tour. Before that, it's crazy. It's just crazy. So now we're having pictures with Travis and Taylor Swift on this cookie with her, the engagement picture that we got off the internet. Anything you put Taylor Swift picture on, you're gonna sell. So we're gonna make some cakes for it as well, some single layer cakes with that picture on it. It can only relate it to the Pope story. When the Pope from Chicago was ordained, we got on the Pope cookie thing right away, and it just blew up. It was the wildest thing I've ever seen. People calling from all over the world ordering cookies, and we were shipping them all over. My dad bought venison from the Venison family in 1967. I've been here since 1975. My son and my daughter-in-law are here now. Hopefully I'm gonna start backing off and they're gonna start picking it up. But they do a terrific job.
Oh, I have so many memories of Benison's Bakery. I grew up not far from there. And we are joined now by Phoebe Casey with Benison's Bakery from Evanston. Phoebe, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I can hear you great.
All right, excellent. Thank you for joining us here on Chicago Now. He mentioned this TK sourdough bread. How long has it been on the shelves, and is it selling at all, or is everyone still fixated on those cookies and cakes?
Yeah, they are selling great. At the bakery, anytime we introduce anything new, people are all over it. And if it has anything to do with Taylor Swift, it sells even better. But yeah, people are loving it. I think we've had it out for about a week now. and cookies, cakes, the sourdough, all are doing well.
OMG. It was so funny because watching that package, it reminds me of the Pope. It reminds me of when...
Oh, yeah, they did the Pope thing.
You know, the twist could be, remember when the pizza was delivered to the Pope?
Yes.
We should have these Taylor Swift cookies delivered to Taylor and get that
And the sourdough
on social
bread,
media.
yes, exactly.
And then, you know, you would go viral. Also, congrats on being able to ship these cookies across the world. That's amazing.
Yes. We sold the Pope cookies all over the place, and now the engagement cookies are going to be selling all over the place too.
What goes into, first of all, how popular is sourdough compared to like a standard bread for you guys?
Sourdough is really popular, partially because of the flavor, and we added in all these different things. And I heard you asking about why it's become like this healthy thing to eat. It is to do with the fermentation process. It breaks down a lot of these different compounds in there, so like the gluten and all that breaks down, so it's easier for your body to digest. So I think that is also definitely a lure. Like, it's an allure to people to have something that is healthy, but also like we've got flavors like cheddar jalapeno, so we get fun with it.
Oh, yum. You know, I could imagine even like a pizza made with sourdough.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking to your sourdough, can I ask you a question behind the scenes and how you heard us asking, like, why is it healthy? What is the process like for making sourdough for those of us who aren't aware? I know it's a viral sensation and everybody is doing it, it seems. But so you have the starter that he mentioned that you guys have had for years and years. Do you use the starter mixed in with regular flour? How does it work?
Yeah. So the starter works like yeast. So if you're using like a leavening agent, if you bake a cake or something like that, that is the leavening agent in the bread. So that it's just that. We add it with flour, salt, water, oil, depending on what bread we're making. But that's just the leavening agent.
Yeah, I noticed you guys have the sweet varieties, like the blueberry and lemon zest, but also the Kalamata olives. And she mentioned that jalapeno cheddar. Those sound delicious as well. We only have a few seconds left, Phoebe, but you also made special Taylor and Travis engagement cookies. Tell us more about those.
Yeah, so it's our standard sugar cookie, and we put the images on them. Anytime we put Taylor Swift image on a cookie, it sells. Similar with the Pope. It isn't selling quite as big as the Pope, but it is
Not
doing
yet. Not yet. Where can people go to order these things?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can go to benisonscakes.com and order online on our website. You can also call into our store, and we take online orders and over the phone.
Benison's
Tempting.
Bakery.
Let's do
Phoebe,
it.
thank you so much. Phoebe Casey, appreciate you joining the show.
Thank you for having me.
She may have just hit the nail on the head there.
What?
The only person on the planet bigger than Taylor Swift right now, the Pope.
Yeah. But like
Those
I said,
continue to
for
sell
now.
better. For now.
It's cool that you can call them and order a delivery or a
Benison's
shipment.
is the best.
Oh.
They're the best. Yep.
Yum.
Love them.
Even
Love
their
them.
little, what are those? Little chocolate-filled pastries. They look French.
Oh, yeah. It's on the tip of my tongue. Anita's here. The
What
New
is
Orleans
the
thing.
chocolate-filled pastries? Chocolate-filled.
Beignets.
So I'm in the background of that video.
All right, we are about to hand things over to Gabby and Anita for another hour of Chicago Now. Caitlin and I will see you back here, not tomorrow, not Monday, but on Tuesday. We'll see you after the holiday weekend. Enjoy, everybody.
Welcome to the 11 o'clock hour Chicago Now. I'm Gabriela Primus.
Anita Blanton filling in for Tia Ewing, and we have Sylvia Perez here. We will
Hi, ladies.
more formally introduce her and why she's up here coming up in just a bit. But we got to talk a little bit about some other things that we have coming up in this hour. There's some great things ahead.
You know what? Yes, we do. We have some trending topics, of course, that we're going to go through, but a local program is introducing inner city kids to the travel and tourism industry, which I love. That's going to come up at the end of the show.
I thought back to your story that you did recently out on the water with the kids sailing.
Oh my gosh, what a fun experience.
Yeah.
It was great.
And I think all of these programs really just get to the heart of, helping kids expand their world beyond where they live, that you can see and experience new things. So I'm really excited about that. We're going to bring in our friend John Hanson from Block Club Chicago. He always has the scoop on great things.
Oh, awesome. And then we have, we have Sylvia Perez next to us, who is our guest of honor.
Yes.
We always love having.
Yeah.
So you've been busy. Tell us about what's going on with
Chicago.
Tasting Chicago.
So we have a really fun episode coming up this weekend. And it involves 3 Chicago things that you really can only find in Chicago. The first one, I'm so excited to tell you guys about this. This place is called Rare Tea Cellar. This guy has been in business for almost 30 years. He goes around the world collecting rare teas and ingredients. And what he does with these is he sells them to like top chefs, restaurants, hotels. And it's not just tea. As he's traveled the world, he started collecting caviar. He started collecting truffles. And this place is in this unobscure warehouse in Ravenswood. Here we are right now. He's showing me what he calls vegetarian caviar. That's the green stuff.
Did he take it out to the U.S. Open? I hear they had some caviar out there.
Probably not the vegetarian type necessarily, right? And then next to that is this cool tea plant. He says it's the closest thing you will ever experience to trying a bloom like what they have in Washington D.C. when we go through that season where you see all those beautiful cherry. It's the closest thing you'll see to trying a cherry blossom. Okay, but my favorite thing is this. It's called a key lime. He introduced. We're getting exclusive, you guys.
Oh, we're getting exclusive.
It's like a lime or a lemon, and now you're going to start seeing these at bars and restaurants. And here's what's cool. This is what it looks like. It's like a lime or lemon, and it looks like a caviar. It also has a raspberry flavor, but here's the coolest part. Watch what happens when he actually puts this in a glass. You're gonna go to a bar, you guys. You're gonna order a drink with this key lime. You're not gonna have any idea what's gonna happen. They're gonna pour something in there for you, and all of a sudden, it becomes this interactive experience. These are just now available on his website too. So besides bars, restaurants, and hotels, you can actually buy these for home use as well.
It's like a science experiment.
That's exactly what this place is like. I felt like I was in Hogwarts.
Yeah.
But an elevated science experience.
Yes.
Right?
So like some of his restaurants are like Alinea and Ever and some of these top line restaurants and all your favorite bars. A lot of people buy their stuff from him. He has an aged oolong tea that goes for about $250,000 a pound.
What?
$250,000.
Who's drinking it?
And you say, why in the world could tea be so expensive? Well, it's aged just like wine. I didn't know this.
Who gets it? The
people apparently,
kings and queens,
right? Isn't that crazy? I went in there and you would never know, like when you walk in, it's this long, vast hallway with all these doors and there's nothing special about it. And you open the door and walk in and literally, it was so visually stimulating.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so there's a ton there.
Yes.
But you also checked out a place, Mariano's Shark Tank.
So Mariano's is doing this really cool thing. They are doing a Shark Tank-like competition where local vendors come and try to sell their goods to get on the Mariano's store shelves.
So they just go in the store and then they have this competition?
So what happens is you have to apply, and then Mariano's has once or twice a year, they'll have this competition. If you get accepted, you get to go in and you get to try to sell your product to get on the store shelves. There's Tai Dang. He's Hai Su Restaurant. He was trying to sell his Vietnamese coffee to get on Mariano's store shelves. So we follow about 5 people from beginning to end of the process, and it's really fun.
I get so roped into Shark Tank.
Well, this is a local Shark Tank, and then when you go to Mariano's, you'll see an aisle called We Love Local, and it's all local products. Yes. So that is the competition to get in. We had so much fun. We were there for 6 hours.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
a long day.
And I've been asking to do this story forever. They finally let us in. We had so much fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And the piece turned out great.
Yeah,
I got to
thank
watch
you,
it.
yes.
And I visited that
Oh,
aisle.
good.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
I'm blanking on what I got,
Yeah.
but
A little
I feel compelled now.
Well, a little tip if you like balsamic vinegar
Yeah,
and
I
stuff,
do.
go buy their Piccolo Sonio balsamic
Yeah.
vinegar. They sell it at Mariano's as part of the We Love Local, and his pastas as well. You can get all of that at We Love Local.
You know
Done.
what?
We'll do
And
it.
so, like, I got excited when Olive Garden got there. When they got their dressing up
Yeah,
the stores. And now
yeah.
it's even better because it's
'Cause
local.
it's Chicago.
I love Piccolo.
That's
so
right.
That's great.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, let's talk about Atomic Cake.
Atomic Cake. Okay, so this is so much fun. This is, if you're from the south side of Chicago, if you're a South Sider, you know about this, and we kind of make fun of it in the story. So it's called Atomic Cake, and it became a South Side staple back during the atomic era, whenever the atom bomb was something everybody was concerned about. They believe the cake was named after that, and it was a South Side baker who decided to put together this banana cake with yellow cake. It's got strawberries, it's got custard, and it's got a chocolate topping. And if you ask a North Sider what it is, they may not know. But if you ask a South Sider, they're like, oh yeah, I used to have that for my birthday all the time.
And does everybody call it Atomic Cake?
It's called Atomic Cake, yes. So we thought this was funny. A British steakhouse in Chicago, the Hawksmoor, they are now doing a twist on the Atomic Cake, which has become an Atomic Sundae. It's become the most popular dessert on their menu, and let me tell you guys, it is good. It's so good.
You know, I'm marrying into a Southside Irish
Oh,
family.
then they know.
And so I had Atomic Cake for the first time, like,
See?
I don't know, years ago.
Right.
And I was like, what is
Yeah.
this? Is it supposed to look
It's
like
a
it?
lot.
Because it's really not pretty either. I'm not going to lie.
Well,
it was delicious.
It's the monstrosity before you cut into it is quite beautiful, and you cut in and you're like, look at these layers, everything that's on there. I wish you could see what was
That
done.
looks
to put
pretty.
That. Yeah, that is delicious.
The one I had,
yes.
maybe not so visually
And that was
pretty,
gonna be
but
my question to
tastefully
you.
it was great.
That's the Atomic Sundae that the Hawksmoor is doing, but the Atomic Cake is separate. But she is from, she's actually from Portugal, but she has worked in all these British kitchens with the Hawksmoor. And whenever the Hawksmoor comes to a local place, they want to find out what the local food product is. And you know, we have our hot dogs, we have our pizza, but then she discovered Atomic Cake. So she's like, we're going to do this, and now it's on the menu.
Smart lady, smart lady.
Yeah.
And then maybe one thing that more people have heard about widely, doesn't matter where you live, Cobbler, Classic Cobbler.
Classic Cobbler. So Classic Cobbler is a place in Bronzeville that Brian Jackson took me to. You guys might have seen.
Oh, I have.
Brian said, Sylvia, it's the best pie and cobbler in Chicago. So we go and we visit the place, and Brian kind of walks me through all of his favorites. My favorite was the peach cobbler.
Of course.
I thought. Have you tried any of theirs?
Oh my gosh,
No. Yes.
peach cobbler, hands down.
Yeah, the peach cobbler. And I have to tell you too, the pound cake was insane. Really moist.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
Do you leave these shoots and go straight to the gym?
Yeah, really.
Pretty much afterwards. This was a family organization. It's so fun too to kind of delve into the history and the background, because all of these places come from family. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of Chicago tradition involved. We had a family we interviewed that drove all the way from Wheaton to go to Bronzeville to try Classic Cobbler
because it went viral.
I love hearing that.
Yeah. So super fun.
Are you finding that we're having a lot more like travel, food
Oh
tourism?
yeah.
going
People are driving everywhere. They're seeing things on TikTok and social media, and they are driving everywhere to try these different things, which is really great for these mom and pop places. You know.
Yeah, that was my immediate thought, was that like this is definitely the social media influence.
It is.
Because before, I mean, one, the advertising dollars you would put in to getting the word out, and just the amount of eyes that can get on your stuff with reposts and all of those things. I mean, you just wouldn't have the reach that you have.
It's so funny you say that too, Anita, because do you guys know who Keith Lee is?
Yeah.
He's a big food influencer.
Has he been to this place?
He hasn't been to this place, so I'm doing a story with
Calling Keith Lee.
Yeah.
How are you doing
so
a
I'm doing a
story
story
with
with Keith
Keith?
Lee
Oh,
because
that's
we go to a restaurant where he literally changed a family's life. They were struggling. And let me just tell you, first of all, he is the kindest man. Super sweet. What you see is what you get. And he just wants to help people, but he literally changed these restaurants' lives. I can't wait for you guys to see that one.
Oh my goodness. Everybody, everywhere he goes, they have great things. Well, no, if he leaves a good review, they have great things to say, of course.
And I do appreciate, though, that he's honest, right? It seems like some of them, he's not really like putting bull crap out there. He's doing his thing.
What you see is what you get.
Can you tell us? Is there anything
I can't
else
tell
that
you
you're
yet.
working on?
Well, I can't tell you yet because we've been embargoed to talk about where. But I can't tell you one more thing I have on this week that we added, a story that I had done in the past. We go to the Vienna beef plant to do a story on Vienna beef.
Cool.
And you know, a lot of people are like, why is the relish on a Chicago-style hot dog green? The reason it's green is because back in the day when they were doing commercials, they wanted to separate the relish from the onions. They wanted you to be able to distinguish. So they dyed it that fluorescent green that Chicago knows and loves.
I was going to say, there's a lot of dyeing of green around here.
There is, right?
I think that they get it from the river.
I was just at Marshall Fields, and everything is at Marshall Fields green right now.
But so we have 5 episodes in this one, and it's so much fun.
Okay, if people at home are interested, where can they watch Tasting Chicago?
So you can go to Fox Local, you can go to fox32chicago.com. It's going to be streaming this weekend. And yeah, we're trying to bring you episodes as often as we can. It's been wonderful because we've had so many people reach out to us to go do stories. So, I mean, there's a lot of good food in Chicago, as you guys know.
Yeah, that should keep you really busy.
Yeah, but the next time you go to a
really
bar,
full.
right? The next time you girls go to the bar and you see a finger lime, you're going to be like, I know about that.
I've seen it on social media. And, honestly, I kind of thought it was an AI picture. I was like, can this be real?
Yeah.
It's an elevated, like, boba tea.
Yes. Right? I was thinking, like a lava lamp boba. Right?
Definitely the lava lamp, too. Sylvia Perez.
Thank you.
Thanks, ladies.
Resident foodie and food expert here. We appreciate you.
Have fun.
All right, everybody. Taste in Chicago. You have your marching orders of where to see it and what's going to be on. Oh, she just gave you a preview, like snippets. There's so much more to come.
Yes, there are. Okay, coming up, we're going to talk about trending topics. Sylvia, thank you again. We'll be back right after this break.
Welcome back, everyone. Now we're going to get into some trending topics here. And I'm super excited to have our friend from Block Club Chicago, the one, the only, John Hanson. Good morning.
Oh, John.
Ooh, can you smell Friday, ladies? I can
We
smell
can't.
it.
We're on the precipice, my dear. On the precipice. We're almost there.
This whole week, I've thought it was the day ahead. Like yesterday, I thought it was Thursday. The day before, I thought it was Wednesday.
I think it's because we're going
I don't
into
know
the
what it is
holiday
going on.
weekend.
Maybe it's
I
'cause
think
we got
so.
the holiday weekend coming up. People are just
Yeah.
And it's getting cooler. Just
Yeah.
things are
Lots
wrong.
changing.
It feels like, but everything's right also at the same time. John, I love you so much. I have to say, I follow you on social media. I love your baby boy even more. Okay.
Thank you. He's napping in the next room, so hopefully
He is.
I'm not
Oh
too
my
loud
goodness.
waking
We'll
him
be
up.
quiet.
Okay, we'll try not to wake him. But if he wakes, you bring him on the screen. Okay, go get him and bring him on the screen.
Is that the deal?
That is the deal. So
Okay.
we've got several things to talk about with you, and you know we're going to start since we were just talking about the weather, and before that we were talking about food. Let's talk about some fun activities to get outside during this time of year, and some additions to it. So many people have been talking about getting out on their bikes and cycling, and now we're getting some new trails.
Yeah, that's cool. And by the way, I want everyone to note what a professional segue that was by Anita. That was, she's a professional. Yes, outside on this bike trail. We love bike trails, right, in the city. And this has been like kind of a back and forth between city officials and people that love biking and cycling around the city for a long time. And about 10 or 15 years ago, the city started making really good efforts to try and protect bike lanes a little bit more and offer people, whether they're driving to work or cycling to work, or they are just cycling for fun, a chance to have more opportunities. The 606 trail we've talked about, and here this map is essentially connecting two big trails in the city: the Lakefront Trail, which we all know and love up and down, and the North Shore Channel Trail that runs through the Uptown neighborhood, maybe a little lesser known except for people in the community. And what they've essentially done is created a way to get between these two trails in a comfortable, easy way where you're not driving on a major street like Foster to the south or Lawrence. So they've created, there it is, it's going through a little bit of a quieter neighborhood. It's not like concrete barrier for those bike lanes like some of them have, but it's like clearly designated, as you can see there. And it just is a way for people to get from one trail to the other in a little calmer way. They're going to be sharing the road with obviously other folks, other drivers, cars, but doing it in a little bit more chill way. And people love this.
You know what? There's always that effort, I know, from cyclists around the area. They're trying to get somewhere where they can ride safely.
Yes,
so I
that's
bet
a
the response
biggie.
is just great.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I think cyclist stories are some of our most read stuff at blockclubchicago.org because everyone's got an opinion, right? Like cyclists, hardcore cyclists are hardcore about it. Drivers, we're still kind of a driving city, guys. I mean, as big
hard
as
to
a
find
city
good
we
trails.
are, it is. And so these two competing forces sometimes butt heads a little bit, like who gets share of the road. The cyclists, they never stop at stop signs, and then the people being like, oh, the drivers, they roll every right turn, which is probably true on both ends, right?
It is.
So we've got to find a way to coexist, and I think this is a smart way to continue to do that.
Okay, well, that's always exciting to have a little new addition, and
absolutely.
for these cyclists to kind of find that that other trail that's not so well used or as
said.
used as others. Okay, we have another topic. There's this man that they're calling the mayor of Mayfair, and
This
he's
guy's
been
amazing.
cleaning
Guys,
up
his name is, he's
neighborhood
90
for
years
26
old.
years.
And his name is Wally. And when I look at this photo, I can only
my
think he's
goodness.
named Wally. He looks like a Wally, right?
Yes.
And he is the mayor of Mayfair, and that's a neighborhood on the northwest side. Maybe some people that don't live in the city don't know where it is. It's essentially butting up to the Kennedy-Edens Junction. Well, Gabby, you know where it is.
Yeah, I do.
As a traffic person. It's to the east of that to about Pulaski, just right where the Kennedy-Edens Junction is. And he grew up in Albany Park, which is nearby. He's 90 years old. He's a vet, and he retired in 1999, a veteran, and he retired in 1999. And he thought, what am I going to do with my life now? I got to do something. So he started hopping on his riding lawnmower and getting his little like pole with a little grabby thingy, you know, to pick up garbage. And he's been doing this for 27 years. I mean, he's just been going around cleaning up the neighborhood. Sometimes it's just riding on the lawnmower. Sometimes it's planting new perennials or new trees in areas that the city hasn't taken care of. Recently, his project is along the Kennedy and Edens Expressway. There's like a pedestrian and cycling walkway, speaking of cycling, that's been overgrown, underused because there's just so much plant life there. No one basically knew it was there. Well, him and a team of people, they cleared it on out. So he's known as the mayor of Mayfair.
Awesome.
But at 90 years old, he's looking to pass the baton. So I don't know if one of you guys want to hop on the riding lawnmower. That sounds like a lot of fun to me. We could do split shifts. Maybe
Listen,
Anita,
John,
you do Mondays, Gabby Tuesdays, I'll take Wednesdays. I don't know.
Listen, in my head, I'm looking at this, I'm feeling some kind of way, and I've got to tell you the story. So I tried to hire as a birthday gift to my dad last year, who's not 90, but he is, you know, in his later years. And I hired a guy to do I have not seen my dad that upset since I was like a kid.
They have a lot of pride.
He's like, this is my yard. I'm like, Dad, I was trying to do something like help out, take something off of your plate, you know? This is my yard. I mow my yard. Like, he loves getting on that riding lawnmower. And now I'm looking at Wally and I'm like, well, Wally's 90 years old and doing it, so I guess I'll back.
Maybe keep some
Well, there's like a pride to it,
Maybe.
right? And for your dad, it's his yard, but for Wally, it's his neighborhood.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and it keeps him going. Like, it gives him something that he's really excited to do and proud of doing. So it's like, well, I guess.
My dad is the
I
same
used to
way.
make fun of my parents who said that like
drink some
landscaping
water.
and yard work was a workout, and then I bought a house in the suburbs and I started doing it, and they aren't wrong. There's a lot of pride to it too. If I tried to mulch my dad's yard, I think he'd disown me.
No,
Seriously.
exactly. They treat it like a golf course. I don't really understand it. I don't quite understand it. But that is cool to hear about the bike trail, because I know there's a lot more traffic going on, you know, off the Kennedy because of the traffic. So people are trying to find alternate routes. It's good that the bikers are having a safe place to go. So way to go, Wally. I'm in love with him.
Yay, Wally.
And the neighborhood's honoring him in a couple cool ways. I just want to mention one. They're creating a little garden they're going to name after him. Obviously, he's still there. He's still going to be doing stuff. He's 90. But also, there was an oak tree that was like 250 years old that had to be brought down because it was dying. It was unsafe. They created 2 benches that are going to be like Wally benches.
Oh, my
that are gonna
goodness.
be right there, which makes me want to tear up every time I tell that story.
I love it so much. I love it so much. And you know what? Given the fact that he's a veteran, I'm like, hey, there's nothing we could not do for him. And he's still continuing to serve in just another way. John, that's awesome. I
love it.
Let's get to our final subject here with you. This is another one. This is like the opposite end of the spectrum. We've gone from, you know, someone who's 90 still giving back to the kids learning chess.
Yes, and apparently it's getting more popular. I was a checkers person myself. Chess is a little bit of, I can't think strategically ahead. That's my problem. I can give you the next minute of stuff. I can't give you 10 minutes from now, which is what chess is all about. But it's surged in popularity. Part of it is because they think of the Queen's Gambit. Remember that show on Netflix that came out?
So popular.
Right, everyone loved it, so a lot of people got more interested in it.
Okay.
And also, chess used to be like pretty inaccessible, seen, let's just be honest, as something that white men played, right? And they've really tried to grow this activity to involve a lot more people, diversity, and they're trying to get more women involved in this as well.
Love it.
Also, a lot of the great books about chess, strategery, is that a word? No, that's a word. No,
strategic.
We're going to call it
I think that's
strategy.
a word they used on SNL to make fun of one of our former presidents. Anyways, I digress. Were written in Russian, all these books. And now with ChatGPT, with ways to translate things quicker, kids are getting so much better at learning maybe really highly skilled ways to play chess. So this article featured 2 clubs that are active in the city. One is the Chicago Chess Club, and the other one is the Chicago Chess Center, both 3 C's. And they are, one is in the Pilsen neighborhood and kind of operates in a few locations. One is going to be soon in the near west side. They've been downtown for a while. But they're seeing a lot more people joining the ranks, younger and younger, more diverse crowds, and they're just trying to create and foster an activity for kids to do and turn into young adults. And they're not super competitive. Beginners can join both of their clubs, which I love. And then they've got like 9 or 10 tables. And they even do pop-up events like at Navy Pier, which is like, I think, the coolest thing. That's one thing that New York has over us, one of the few, is when you walk through a park and you see old men playing chess. We don't have that a lot here in Chicago. We need to get more of that.
There is like one area along the Lakefront Trail right after Oak Street Beach, where on like the left-hand side, you see some people, and look, I'm running by, so I don't know if it's chess or checkers, but I do see them over there playing. I think they're playing chess, I think. And they have like, I don't know if it's etched in or if they bring stuff out, but yeah, there's like little areas where they play over there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The only chessboard I used to like to play, we had one at a park near my house where the chess pieces were like 4 feet tall, and you had to like pick them up and move them. That was fun, but I didn't really play it right. It just was fun to move giant pieces.
One time I was so skilled. I actually went to one of those like giant chess boards, and I played checkers somehow because I just was like, I cannot give the chess any energy.
Do what you do.
You know, it's funny because I was bopping around different schools when we were like, you know, going around talking about the first day, and there were actually a lot of chess clubs that were popping up. I heard about 2 out of the schools I went to, which I thought was really cool. They had said the same thing, that it was really becoming popular again, and that they had more interest.
Well, let's be honest. You used to think, oh, the chess club, those are the quote-unquote nerds. Nerd culture has been growing in popularity as comic books have become more mainstream, etc. I think that bringing chess along as part of that, and maybe diversifying chess and who plays it and who, I think that's really done a lot for that activity. And just the idea, like how many, even like people our age, you go to a social gathering and they want to play board games, which I think is cool. Like it's a different culture, I think, than it was maybe 20 or 30 years ago, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Oh, John, so much to talk about, so little time, but we always love having you.
Baby's still asleep.
I was just about to say it.
You know, he can
like
sleep later.
At this
he can
point now.
sleep later, just so you know, if you want to bring him in. No, just kidding. Okay, well, you guys have a great day. Enjoy the long weekend.
Yes.
We will see you next time.
We will. Chat soon, guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, John. Oh, it's always great talking to our friends with Ball Club Chicago.
I was really hoping that I felt like we should have just screamed at the end, just to see what would happen if we could get our baby up.
So cute. So cute. Oh my gosh, I just want to squeeze him. All right, we have some trending topics to get to next.
We do. There's plenty to talk about. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Chicago Now. We told you we're going to go through some trending topics, and they're really all around Chicagoland. We're keeping it here and local. But first, we have some high schools that are removing their bathroom doors.
Okay, so we're talking about in Oak Park specifically. It's River Forest High School, and listen, you know. Bathroom controversies are nothing new to culture. I mean, this people have argued about bathrooms and for many different reasons for several years. This one is kind of interesting because one, it's a self-forced error. This is what I like to call a self-forced error in terms of the students. The high school says, the administration, they say, hey, we had issues with kids fighting in the bathrooms. We had issues with kids cutting class in the bathrooms. We had issues with kids gambling in the bathrooms. I mean, the list goes on of things that were happening in the bathrooms. So they removed the outer door to the bathroom. Now, if you think about like going to the airport, like
Yeah, you
there's
just
no
have
outer door.
Kind of the hall that will separate them.
Yeah, there's no outer door. You walk in, and then there are doors to stalls. So essentially, that's what they've done. But then there's a whole argument of like, wait a minute, is that a privacy issue? You know, there's so much that could be said about it. But again, if they didn't have the issues to begin with, they wouldn't have tried to maybe go this route. And they've said that other schools have gone this route and been just fine. So maybe because it's something new, it's not sitting well with a lot of people right now.
You know, I think a lot of schools are trying to experiment with this because, I mean, kind of the same across the board, right? Whether you're in the inner city of Chicago, whether you're in some of these suburbs. It's interesting, just a couple of weeks ago, we had a person come in talking about his new technology where they're able to detect vaping, even if it's a little bit. And they're even able to, or at least they're trying to be able to detect whether it's marijuana, whether it's tobacco, you know, whatever they might be smoking. And they had cameras on the outside. So yes, that's another conversation with privacy and such, like things like that. But, you know, personally, again, I'm not an expert. Also, I'm not well versed in privacy law or anything like that. But I don't see a problem with having those hallways as long as they are separate and you're not peeking in.
Yeah, I think people don't like change, and well, we've seen that in a million ways. Cracker Barrel was one of them this week. I mean, you know, people don't like change. Change is always going to come with a lot of opinions. So that's one aspect of it. Where anytime you change something that people have kind of gotten used to, this is the way we do things. When you change it, there's going to be an uproar. But there's the aspect of what are they trying to correct, and then how do they go about correcting it? And I think, you know, maybe if they have some input from parents, maybe some type of forum where parents can weigh in and kind of assess where the parents stand on this. If they can all be in one room, the administrators, the parents, and even some students, you know, come forward and talk about how they're feeling about it now. Maybe they'll be able to get through it to the other side of the controversial aspect of it, because at the end of the day, it's really just about one, safety, and one, kind of the rule of law in the school, making sure the kids are doing what they're supposed to do in school.
So I guess we don't have all the background. I don't know if they started this to start off the year or what, but maybe they should have just slowed down their timeline a bit if they are getting a lot of pushback. Like you said, had the input.
Get a little
maybe
more
things
input.
would be a little more smooth with the transition.
So we'll see what happens with that, because you know, obviously they have implemented it, but they're gonna kind of listen around now, do some listening sessions, and that should be good for them. So a lot of people are talking about that. A lot of people are talking about this next story too. It's actually gone viral, and you know, usually when you talk about a fishtail, that means that it's a lie. But this seems to be real.
Oh, yep, I did see this. I was wondering, we were talking kind of before we started back in the break, if we've seen this picture.
Crazy.
Yeah, I have seen this picture. So this is a Chicago man who had a big catch in an unexpected play, the Chicago River near McClure Court.
In the Chicago River?
See, I was kind of thinking that this was closer to maybe like Chinatown or something like that. Just not really this inner city.
I have so many questions. And what kind of fish is this?
This is a carp.
A carp.
So it says Danny Vivar caught a 35 to 40 pound giant carp on Saturday night, reeling it in with a crowd of people cheering him on, which must have been quite the experience.
They are witnesses.
You know, someone has to have a video, and I bet they posted it, and we just haven't seen it, and that's not the post that's going viral. Interesting. Well, have you ever seen carps before?
And then
they're very, very common. No. Carps are ginormous.
That large?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think they can get even bigger. I grew up in South Dakota for a time, and my friends actually would go bow fishing for carps. So they'd stand on their boat. They could see through the water. You know, the water was pretty clear, and they would take their bow and arrow, and they would shoot a carp, and they'd take it home as a prize.
And they could be that large or bigger. You know, when I was in Oklahoma, they used to do some type of fishing.
It's probably the same.
But I felt like it was like with their hand. I don't remember what kind of fishing it was.
And where'd you say it was?
In Oklahoma.
In Oklahoma. Well, I've seen catfishing with people, you know, using their arms and having the bait.
I don't know. Now I'm gonna have to think of. We should have had a fisherman on today.
I don't think. I'm trying to like remember some of the carp knowledge that I have way stored back in there. I don't think that they bite or anything like that, because you know some fish are curious and they'll kind of nibble. I think they might just be sharp. maybe.
Okay.
But for the most part, they're big but not dangerous.
Do we know what he did with the carp
But they're
after
prehistoric.
he caught it?
No, we don't. But they're disgusting. You can't really eat them.
He
He threw it back in. Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, he threw it back. Okay, well, he's
The
a good
peanut gallery
sport.
is
He took the
telling us.
picture because, of course, if you don't have a picture, it didn't happen. And then he threw it back in. So good to him. I have so many questions.
But yes, to answer your question about carp, they're notoriously not good to eat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they're bottom feeders, I'm pretty sure.
Well, catfish are bottom feeders, but they are delicious.
It looks like the peanut gallery's kind of commenting over here. I don't know what he has to say.
They are phenomenal. Oh, they said carp is disgusting.
Carp is disgusting,
Okay,
exactly.
well, I won't
See?
even try that. That won't be one of my questions. Well, now my question has been answered. Okay.
Maybe we can find him and get him on the show. That'd be interesting, wouldn't
I
it?
feel like we should have had some type of fisherman on here.
Danny Vivar?
You've given us a wealth of knowledge to your extent that
Hopefully
you
it's
could
right.
about carpology. You've given us some carpology here. And speaking of ologies, when you're in college, you're learning sociology, biology, all of those things. And we know we have a lot of great schools in our area. But they are in the new ranking here of the 500 institutions, top 500 institutions in the country. We have several that are right here in Illinois.
I can't even have a number on this, more than 10.
It's awesome.
For sure.
It's awesome stuff. You want to list them?
Yeah, let's talk about some.
Okay.
So number 13 listed here is University of Chicago.
Congratulations.
I will say that Massachusetts Institute of Technology, not that we care about them, they're claimed to be number 1 overall, but yes, several schools in Chicago are also just as great, probably better. Number 16, Northwestern University. I guess that doesn't come as a surprise to most because it's so prestigious.
Yeah.
University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign,
Yep.
one that we hear a lot. University of Illinois at Chicago. Yes, Wheaton College is another one.
Yeah.
That's 159. So it goes kind of on the rank of 500. Our lowest quote-unquote rank would be North Central College, which is still a great school. Again,
And what's their 458? And listen, this is out of 500, so there are still some that are lower than that. And this is, if you're doing a list of 500, there's still a whole lot of other colleges that didn't
Big
even make the
time.
list. So even if you're 458, that's still a wonderful honor. You can look here, see some of those that we were discussing here.
it even has the type. It has grant aid.
Ooh, average
grant.
debt. Hello.
Average. Oh, yeah.
That's important
average
to
debt.
know.
Mhm,
Yeah.
That is important. Well, this is interesting. I wish we would have had this resource when I was going into college. My parents didn't go a traditional college route, so it was hard kind of to pick a school. I ended up going with my local school, which I love, South Dakota State. But, to explore some of these out-of-state schools,
Yes.
have a resource like that, a tool, it would have been really helpful.
Yeah, I went to a private school, Hampton University in Virginia, and oh my goodness, just when we talk to the kids now about how much it is, I mean, I thought it was a lot when I went to school. That's over 20 years ago, and now I'm like, oh my goodness. So a listing of the aid that's available that was on there too, a listing of the assistance
That would help.
that's available. That is truly helpful. Even when we were getting my nephew into college, he went to University of Texas, and even when we were getting him into college, and he was an in-state student. So looking at that in-state tuition versus out-of-state tuition, what you can add to that, whatever you can tick
Well, and some
off.
states have partnerships with other states.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets to be pretty complicated.
Oh man, the cost of education, but hopefully those degrees serve you well. Congratulations again to all of the schools that were
Yeah.
listed there. Yeah.
We know they're great.
Amazing
It's in
feat.
Illinois. Come
Yeah.
on.
But now you're cemented in this list. So congratulations to you. We're going to be back with one of my favorite organizations in Chicagoland coming up after this. Boys and Girls Clubs of Chicago. Welcome back, everybody. It's just about 11:45. Plenty of time to chat with our friends at Boys and Girls Clubs of Chicago. They have a wonderful program that we want to talk about here. And not only do we have the director of core programs with us, but we also have one of the young people who has been through the program and is doing wonderful things. So go ahead, introduce us to who we have here, and let's talk a little bit more about the program. Gabby.
Yeah, you can go first if you want.
Oh yeah, my name is Raul Rodriguez, Director of Core Programs. I've led the trip for the past 3 years. Yes.
Okay.
My name's DeLauren Edwards. I'm new to the Boys and Girls Club. I've been with them for probably about 2 years now, and I love it. It's amazing.
What makes you love it?
The opportunities that are presented. Starting off, they came to my high school, and I got my license for what was it? Pharmacy technician license.
Okay.
Wow.
And that was the first opportunity that they presented to me. And then secondly, the Wyoming trip.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about that Wyoming trip, because really you guys are pushing inner city kids to get out there and learn about travel and tourism. How were you able to do that?
Yes, so 5 years ago we partnered up with Abercrombie & Kent. They are a luxury travel agency in the Chicago area. And yes, they wanted to provide an experience to our members, our focus more on our high school members, to really learn about new career paths in not just the travel industry, but also out west in Wyoming. So the trip is really designed to, take them away from the city, for them to discover, a new community out there in Jackson, Wyoming, but also connect with nature and also hopefully tap into their leadership skills.
The Grand Teton.
Yes.
How was the trip?
It was amazing.
Amazing. What are some of the things that you guys did?
We went whitewater rafting,
Wow.
which I want to point out. I have not taken this off since I got it. Dave Hansen, whitewater rafting in the Snake River. We went to the wind caves. We did rock climbing. A lot of things. We did everything. We did everything.
Wow. What did that mean to you to be out there and to experience those things? Because it's so different. We love Chicago down, but it's so different from Chicago.
It was life changing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I've never been outside of Chicago, outside of Illinois. Never been on the plane. Never seen mountains and moose. So it was life changing. It just showed me that there's a lot more than city life. It kind of made me want to change my life, going from city life to kind of out of the way, out there with nature, connecting with the trees, the wind. We did a lot of sound healing, things like that. So it's like everything was connecting as one. I felt like I was one with the earth.
Do you feel like others in the group kind of got that itch to maybe travel more, to look into more things?
Oh yeah, specifically, yes, everyone. Specifically my group, we talked about actually going back to Wyoming this winter for the ski season.
Yeah, and it's phenomenal during the ski season. It's one of my favorites, just kind of go out and, like you said, just take it all in types of areas. Raul, this is obviously what we want to hear from young people who go through your programs.
Yes.
This is year 5, I think, I saw for this particular program. But Boys and Girls Club has so many different programs. Just talk about how you all kind of try to hit on so many different aspects of what could just broaden a young person's horizon.
Yes, so with our programming, we really try to focus on 4 pillars for our childhood development. So academic success, character and leadership, health and well-being, and then life and workforce readiness. So with all of our pillars, we really try to provide life-changing experiences for our members to potentially be introduced to a new career path, but also a new passion. DeLauren's a great example of that. Going to Wyoming, he met with some firefighters and EMT, and now that's something that he's trying to pursue. Yeah.
Wow.
So, yes.
Okay, now this was your 5th year, right?
Yes.
Of going to Wyoming. Do you want to continue to, take kids on these groups, or what's planned for the future? Do you plan to expand it even?
Yeah, so the plan is to keep it going. Abercrombie & Kent, they really want to, provide this for years to come. So we are planning year 6. And hopefully DeLauren will come back as a leader in training.
Yes.
We do take participants back to be a mentor
Yeah.
to the new participants. So there is mentorship within our little group. But yes, this is an amazing opportunity for our members, and it is a lot of hard work, a lot of organizing, but coming back from the trip and seeing, all the participants hug and, just create that bond.
Yeah.
For me, it's rewarding, and it's what the trip is meant for.
Yeah, DeLauren, you, Raul mentioned that now you want to be an EMT.
Yes.
What is it that connects you to that calling? It is a very special calling for people to want to serve others in such a way. So what makes you want to do that now?
Well, all my life I wanted to serve people, starting off with being a mentor, and I wanted to take it to another level. And firefighting, it interested me. Hearing those firefighters in Wyoming, them telling me their stories and what they do, it was like, this really resonates with me. Yeah. Inside, I felt the spark. When I heard firefighter and what they do, especially wildlands firefighters and smoke jumping, I'm like, yeah, this is me. Like, this is what I want to do.
And when I say special calling, because when we hear firefighting and like fire jumping, we're like, no, I want to go in the opposite direction.
Yeah, I'm okay in my little comfy studio chair right here.
Yeah.
Like Anita said, it's so different, right? From Chicago, especially inner city, to Wyoming. Did you guys find that it was hard to connect with the locals there in Wyoming, or was it easy? You guys found that commonality?
Honestly, the people in Wyoming are so welcoming. Yeah, they are so nice, so welcoming. They really, opened their arms, and we were kind of family to them.
Yeah.
They were. I think the hard part was more connecting to nature. And coming from the city, it's loud and there's a lot going on. And out there, we saw, stars. We saw, a meteor shower and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and it was just so calm and relaxing, and it was just a different environment that really brought peace.
What was the most surprising thing? When we lived in Colorado when I was a kid for a while, we would vacation in Wyoming for those quiet moments, and you brought up the moose, you're out there, you're like, wait, this isn't a zoo. Like, no, they're right there in the middle of the street. You can
Nothing
see them all
between
over.
us.
Yeah, what was the most surprising thing, or the thing that kind of sticks out at you? It's like, whoa, that really happened.
I would say probably seeing a moose cross the street. We had two of them, male and female. They were crossing the street. Actually, and I seen the son and father.
What?
Yes, it was amazing. So seeing everyone pull over, get out, all the the people of Wyoming. It was like, this is normal to them. But every instant they take out time of their day to see these animals. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. They treat wildlife out there so perfect, and like they're celebrities. They get lights and cameras when they come outside. Yeah.
There's a healthy respect for them, for sure. Yeah. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
For just chatting with us. I think that the more people can find out about the great things that you all are doing with Boys and Girls Club, the more DeLaurens we have. And I know you're fairly new, but what would you say to other young people or parents who are thinking like, oh, maybe I should get my young person involved in that?
I would tell them, go for it. The Boys and Girls Club of Chicago are all about bettering our youth and putting into the youth. They're investing into us so we can invest back into them later. So I would tell students, scholars, parents, everyone, give it a try. You never know where this may take you. Students, job opportunities, career paths. Parents, same thing. I would just tell them that go out, get out your comfort zone, and experience something new, because that's what I did, and I loved it.
Keep this spokesperson around.
Yes. Lauren, I see such a bright future ahead of you.
Thank
you so much for volunteering, to switch your career path, to do this big job. We appreciate you, and then, knowing that you're going to want to give back is even more important.
Yeah, and Raul, if, again, parents are watching, or young people who can maybe sign up on their own, where do they need to go? What do they need to do? And what do they need to know about connecting with Boys and Girls Clubs of Chicago?
So to get more information about Boys and Girls Clubs of Chicago, you can go onto our website, bgcc.org. There you can find the location to your nearest club. We do have 8 standalone clubs in the city of Chicago, South, West, and North Side. There's more information depending on which club you want your child to enroll. And also, once you get connected, each club has their own programs that they offer our youth, depending on the need of our communities.
Yeah.
So Yeah, that would be the best way for parents to connect to our organization. And right now, we really want to make sure that we serve as many youth in the city, so that we can have more DeLoreans out in in our city.
Oh, thank you guys so much. We
Awesome
really
stuff.
appreciate your time.
Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, no kidding. What a trip. That was a trip of a lifetime. Okay, we really appreciate you. Thanks for coming in.
I appreciate you guys.
Okay.
This was great.
We'll be right back after this break.
Okay, almost out of here, but it's been a busy day for you. So we're going into the holiday weekend. There's no show, by the way. Tomorrow, no show on Monday. As we go into the Labor Day weekend, we're already starting to think about the holidays, like, that
months
are to
away.
come. Yeah.
After several other holidays that we're going to have coming up. Yeah, we're talking, a little bit of Christmas, but I was at the Walnut Room this morning, which is in the Macy's on State Street here in downtown Chicago, Marshall Fields. Upstairs. Such a fun spot. Oh, there's a picture of it right there.
Beautiful.
So right now it's, in the kind of normal season, but come Christmas time, they go all out. They have that big Christmas tree that replaces the fountain in there. They have menu items that are more, holiday themed and
Look
such.
at all that food.
This year is their 118th year celebration, and September is really when they're kicking it off, celebrating. And so they have special menu items. So I spent the morning there. Yeah, they just have a really upscale experience, no matter what time of year you go.
Yeah.
And so in September, they're featuring some of the recipes that they've seen throughout the 100 years.
So they're teeing us up for November.
I learned today that the executive chef there, has a file cabinet of recipes and recipes and recipes
back all that time.
That goes back 100 years. Wow. And he said he's had people reach out to him and say, hey, do you have this recipe from when I was a kid? And he's willing sometimes to give him that recipe. So they're taking inspiration from some of those, bringing into this menu during September. I think it starts the 3rd through the 25th. Once you're there,
next week.
Pretty much starts next week. Yes, exactly. So once you're there, at least in the month of September, up until the 25th, once you're done with your meal, then you can go up to the front desk and they will secure a reservation for you for the holiday season, which can still be hard to get.
Smart. They are hard to get during the holiday season.
I found amazing because, Anita, as you know, we're overwhelmed with stuff to do, honestly, during the Christmas season here in Chicago. And so to know that this has been such a mainstay and still so popular after all these years,
overwhelming
so much
demand.
Beautiful. Every year the Christmas tree changes, so it's going to be a different theme.
My first year here, everyone's like, you gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta go. And it was so sweet to see the families that came with all their kids dressed alike because they were getting ready to get that Christmas picture in front of the big Christmas tree. You know, and obviously the traditions of families that go there for like said meal that they always have at that time of year together. Several families that we talked to when we went, that's like their meal together before they have their separate meals for the holidays. If you think about it, like not everybody gets the whole family together for the holiday, but like, hey, here's the time that we all spend together before everybody goes their separate ways.
I know our Roseanne Tellez that she's been a couple of times. She sent me a picture of I think the tree last year.
Beautiful out there.
Okay, yeah, we have more of that.
But back to Labor Day weekend.
Too. Yeah, Labor Day weekend. Enjoy it, guys. It's a long one. Yeah, you guys put in a lot of labor during the year. You deserve a break. We will see you on Tuesday next week.
Be safe, everybody.
Live from Chicago, this is Fox 32 News at Noon.
Now at noon, as debate grows over deploying the National Guard to Chicago, a local naval base is now being asked to potentially house them.
The Chicago School Board is making a crucial vote surrounding the budget for Chicago Public Schools. We're going to hear from interim CPS CEO and Superintendent Macklin King.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Sylvia Perez.
And I'm Brian Jackson. A Chicago area military base has been contacted about supporting immigration enforcement operations.
It is possible the National Guard could be based there as threatened by President Trump. Fox 32's Joni Lum has more.
The commanding officer at Naval Station Great Lakes reportedly sent an email to staff telling them to expect federal agents to house there in September with a potential to support National Guard units. The military base is an hour north of Chicago, and apparently they are preparing. The Sun-Times reports the email says federal agents from the Department of Homeland Security, ICE, and U.S. Customs and Border Protection would make Naval Station Great Lakes their base from September 2nd through the 30th for immigration enforcement. State and local officials say they've not been included in any communications about National Guard troops being deployed here. But city officials said in an online briefing they are preparing for protests and safeguarding the city.
Comes to the National Guard, look, these people work for the federal government. When we think about protocol for them, their rules of engagement are different from that of local law enforcement. So what we would do is just try to communicate to everyone to keep it peaceful.
Local activists say they are united in resisting President Trump.
Chicago and Washington, D.C. are being targeted because we stand up and we fight for working class and immigrant families.
One public figure, former candidate Willie Wilson, says, as the father of a victim of gun violence, he wants the National Guard's help.
Get this situation fixed. They have had the opportunity to get it fixed and have not gotten it fixed. And it just didn't start last month. It's been down through the years. Don't reject help to anybody that can save lives.
The governor, mayor, and police superintendent all say they haven't had any communication with federal sources. But if National Guard troops end up on the streets of Chicago, they expect them to assist, not arrest. Joni Lum, Fox 32, Chicago.
The mayor of Washington, D.C. says that the city has seen a dramatic drop in crime since the Trump administration sent in federal law enforcement. Mayor Muriel Bowser says carjackings are down 87% and violent crime is down 45%.